with Big Universe Music, and welcome to my random live here on YouTube. Thank you all so much for being here with me today. I just recorded a video on how to improve your singing voice immediately, and I thought it'd be fun to jump on live and run through a vocal warm-up and some tips on how to improve your singing voice right away, because I need to warm up my voice, and I also have a performance tonight, and it's been quite cold. I don't think my voice has been being used very much. And yeah, so this is a lesson today on how to improve your voice immediately, which all of us want to improve our singing, but don't necessarily want to wait, right? We want to feel some improvement within the first couple minutes or couple hours of trying to work on our singing voice. So with that in mind, there will be a longer video coming out, but I'll share with you, or not a longer video, we'll say an edited video coming out on how to improve your singing immediately on the channel. So if you happen to not be subscribed, go ahead and do that, and you'll get to watch this over and over and over again. Okay, so the first way that you can improve your singing voice immediately, and I guess immediately for this one will be used loosely because it's to start improving how you take care of your voice. So improving your vocal health, right? So if your voice is unhealthy, it's going to be pretty difficult to use it. Imagine like if you wanted to be an Olympic athlete, but right now your body's not really in its best shape ever. You have to get in shape before you can get to the Olympics. So start thinking of training your voice like that. Like, we're not going to be able to pick up our guitar and start singing like your heroes on the first day. You know, we need to start doing these small steps every single day to improve your singing voice. So those first things you can do right away, sorry, adjusting my lighting, is to make sure that you are taking care of the health of your voice by drinking lots of water. We want to avoid anything that puts strain on the voice, such as screaming, yelling, whispering, and clearing your throat too much. So avoid habitual throat clearing, which is like if you do this. A lot of people do that, I've noticed. And after a while, most of the time, you're actually not clearing anything from your vocal cords. You're in the habit of clearing your throat. So try to break that habit by stopping clearing your throat. Okay, so we're gonna drink lots of water, avoid anything that puts strain on the vocal cords like screaming and yelling, clearing the throat. Whispering is not great for your voice, so if your voice is tired, try not to whisper. Another thing that we want to avoid for vocal health is also too much drinking and too much smoking. So if you're smoking and drinking, you might be finding that your vocal cords are not very flexible, they're not very pliable, they're not doing what you want them to do. So cut back or cut those things out, and you'll hopefully hear and feel an improvement in your singing. We also want to make sure you're getting enough rest. So please let your voice and your body in rest. Let your voices and your body rest, especially when you've been doing vocal training. Take some silence breaks. If you are a teacher, especially, and you use your voice all the time, take some breaks from talking if you can. So on that note, if you're watching this video is going to be a lot of talking because I'm talking about ways that you can improve your singing voice right away. So if you're wanting to hear some music, you'll have to stick around till later in the video, or if you're watching the replay, forward it. The second thing to improve your singing right away is to get better at choosing songs for your voice type. Okay, so most people choose songs that are not suited for their voice. Sadly, one second, my light is flashing. Sadly, what often happens is we like to listen to music that is not suitable for how our voices naturally sound, so then we end up changing the sound of our voice to fit the songs. So you don't want to alter the sound of your voice too much to try to sound like the singers that you like, right? You want to find songs that are close to how your voice already sounds. And this is hard because it takes some like real reflection on how your singing voice sounds and what kind of music you like. You have to expand your palette quite a lot because oftentimes what will happen is you find that you're better at singing certain types of music than you necessarily listen to. So that's a listening journey you got to go on. You have to make sure that you're listening to lots of music and trying to sing different kinds of songs so you can find the songs that you sound best singing. So along those lines, we want to make sure we're choosing the songs that are best for our voice. You also want to make sure that you're choosing the songs kind of in the same recommendation, choosing songs that are in the same vocal range as what you have. You can either just go straight to choosing the right song, or you can find lowered keys or higher keys of songs that you already like. So it's totally normal to change the keys of songs to suit your singing voice. It happens all the time. And you can find an example of this, say like look up a song that's really popular. I don't know, there's so many popular songs that I could, let's say like, when someone asks you to think of a song and you can't think of any. Folsom Prison Blues. I'll just say Folsom Prison Blues. Go look up Folsom Prison Blues cover on YouTube and listen to a whole bunch of different versions, and you'll probably find that many people are playing it in different keys. Not everybody plays it exactly the same way. And that's mostly because we're all different musicians and we have different voices, and we need those songs to be in a different key to suit our voice type. So for me, what I will do, if it's a male vocal key like Johnny Cash, I always have to raise the key up so that I can sing it. If it's a higher female key, say like a Dolly Parton song, for instance, I always have to lower the key of the song. So changing the keys to suit your voice is completely necessary. If you're a guitar player, it's easy to do this. So as we were saying, you choose the song that you like, trying to choose a song that suits what your voice already sounds like. Try to not change the sound of your voice to suit somebody else's song, right? And what you can do is find the chords and grab a capo and just move that capo around all of the different frets and try singing it in a different place. So this will be great for your ear as well, because you're going to have to adjust the melody that you're singing to the new key. A key is essentially a different scale. So if you've learned how to sing or play all 12 of your major scales, you can hear them in your mind, and you'll get that in practice by doing this. Okay, so those are the first two, which was treat your voice in a healthy way, drink lots of water, get rest, no screaming, yelling, try not to drink or smoke too much, make sure you're getting enough sleep. And second tip was to choose songs that are suitable for your voice and change the keys whenever necessary. Keeping an open mind, because the songs that you might sound best singing might not be the songs that you like to listen to the most. I know that can be hard. And I hit that a lot, so. Okay, the third thing that's going to really help your singing voice a lot, and once you start doing this, I think that you'll notice it pretty quickly. You're going to memorize all of the lyrics to any of the songs that you want to sing. So anytime you have a song that you want to play, the lyrics need to be memorized. I'll give you a little bit of a pass if you're going to be playing an instrument and you need to you need to memorize, and you need to play the guitar as well. But the pass is you either should memorize the chords or memorize the lyrics. So one of those things needs to be memorized, and then eventually all of it does. And the reasoning behind that is because you really can't internalize the meaning of the lyrics, and you cannot progress past the reading of the music until it is memorized. So I know there's some people who, I acknowledge that there are people who probably struggle with memorization, so do the best that you can. But if you want to hear an improvement in your singing and your playing, you need to memorize your songs. This might happen very fast for you, or it could take months to memorize one song. So what I would recommend is choose one song, try to get in the habit of memorizing. So perhaps like an exercise that you could do is to try to memorize one song a week for the next year. Get in the habit of memorizing. So we're going to be memorizing the lyrics. Another way that I memorize lyrics quickly is by writing them out in a journal, on a piece of paper, by hand. Typing just to me doesn't give me that exact tactile feeling of when you're writing the lyrics. So write the lyrics out by hand. Hello, welcome everyone. Write the lyrics out by hand. That's going to help you get them memorized. Memorize your chord progressions. Try to memorize those songs. Okay, so yeah, tip to memorize, write it out by hand. And then another thing that I would do is I would have my lyric sheet, and I'll have it in front of me, but turn it over, sing as far as I can. If I forget something, flip it over, read that line, get it back in my head, turn it back over, and keep going. So the tip or the quest overall is that by memorizing songs, you're going to get better at memorizing them. If you never memorize songs, you're going to have a hard time memorizing the songs. So get through the first one, get through all the first songs that you have to memorize, and eventually you'll have a large repertoire memorized. Okay, so that's 3 with lots of other notes in between. Vocal health, choose a song that's suitable for your voice. Don't change your voice to fit the song. Change the keys, higher or lower. Memorize your lyrics. Another reason that we memorize the lyrics is for the next thing, which is that when you're singing, rather than thinking about, well, hopefully you've memorized, so you're not thinking about what you're playing, but you're thinking about what's happening in the song. You're trying to tell the story of the song to the listener. So remember, as a singer, that you're not just a musician. You're a musician, you're a storyteller, you're an actor, you're a performer. And what we're trying to do is to create a feeling with our words. So you're trying to tell the story, to get an emotion out of the listener. So what I like to do to practice telling the story of the song is I will read those lyrics out loud and really think about what they mean by kind of trying to let them create an image in my mind, right? So I'm not just reading the lyrics like, I am an old woman named after my mother. My old man is another child that's grown old. I am an old woman named after my mother. My old man is another child that's grown old. Okay, so then you get the feeling of the story that's happening in the song. That was Angel from Montgomery, by the way. So we're trying to tell the story. Tell the story of the song to the listener. And also tell that story to yourself. And you're telling the story to yourself so that you then get the feeling, and then the feeling comes out and the audience feels the feeling. So hopefully you know what I'm talking about when I say the feeling, because if you're a musician or if you love music, you probably know what I mean when I just mean the feeling. There's a feeling that you get when you listen to a song it might be a different feeling depending on each song. But think about the feeling that you had when you first heard that song. Then think about a similar situation in your life where you also felt that feeling. And then when you're singing the lyrics of the song, think about the time that that happened in your real life so that you feel the feeling of the song as you're singing it. And this can come across, this can make even someone who's not like technically a shredder of a singer become an amazing singer to their audience. So think of singers like Neil Young, Bob Dylan. They're not going all over the place with their voices, right? They're just telling these stories that are hitting you right in the feeling. So think about the feeling of the song, feel the feeling of the song, and that becomes a lot easier when your lyrics are memorized. So, okay, the fifth way that you can improve your singing voice immediately, there's tons of technical work you can do, right? But this is a little more philosophical work, I guess, as singers. Oh, now we're getting technical. Okay, I spoke too soon. Sing in front of a mirror. So this also works as well, just as well if you are singing in front of a device. So like right now I'm talking to you all out there. Say hello if you'd like. Hello. Let me know where you're listening from. But I'm staring at myself while I'm talking to you. So if you have a device, you can put it on the camera mode and you can turn it toward your face. Or hello from Denmark and Austria. Awesome. You can turn it toward yourself, like the camera, you know how you can do like the selfie mode? You could do that. You can also use a full-length mirror. So I don't know if you can see, but there's my practice mirror hidden away that I pull out whenever I am working on things like this. OKC, Ohio, yes. So you're gonna practice in front of a mirror. Another time, this is Hungary, awesome. Y'all are all over the world. I love it, so exciting. Cool, so practice in front of a mirror. This is another time when songs memorized is super, super helpful. Get yourself in front of a mirror. If it's a full body length mirror, even better. So you can see feet all the way up to the top of your head. And what you're going to do when you're singing in front of the mirror is you're going to watch yourself. But specifically what you're going to watch for is if you look relaxed. So many people. Indiana, Washington State, awesome. So many people start singing and what they do is like distort their face. Virginia, nice, not too far from me. I'm in West Virginia. British Columbia, Canada, cool. So many people start singing and they, we all know what I mean, right? Like you start singing and it's like creating tension on purpose with their face. And a lot of people think that this is like being emotional in a song, but I challenge, some people pull it off. Others are like, it just looks tension. It looks like tension. And when you're singing, you never want to create tension in your body because that just makes it more difficult to use the vocal cords and the breath. So watch yourself in the mirror. Start by watching your face and just see if you can keep your face relaxed when you're singing. I am an old woman named after my mother. My old man is another child that's grown. Right? Instead of I am an old woman. That's the exercise at least, right? Awesome, Florida, cool. So trying to keep your face relaxed and then keep going. Relax your shoulders, relax your elbows, Relax your hands and your fingers. Relaxed in the rib cage. Relaxed in the belly and the hips and the thighs and the knees and the feet and the toes. And then a good one, what I like, is like relaxing your ears. So a lot of us will go pull your ears back like that. Or relaxing the jaw. Can you stay relaxed in your jaw while you're singing? Relaxed in your eyebrows and your eyes. And watch for that in the mirror. And the goal there is that we don't want to create tension and call it emotion. Right? So the emotion, again, the emotion in a song is going to come from a feeling and the storytelling. And you will use your face, but you don't want your face to become a tense, something that works against your vocal cords. So try to release all of that tension that you've been making in your face to try to make your voice sound better. Because you don't really need any of the muscles besides the ones that help your lips, teeth, and tongue relax. You don't really need much muscle action in your upper body for singing. Okay. When I say your upper body, up here. Your eyes don't create a sound. Your vocal cords do. Okay, cool. So that's hitting us into the next thing that I have on my list for ways to improve your singing right away. And this is even, I guess we do need to practice these things. I would like to say without practicing, but you probably are going to have to practice. Improving your voice, but you can do it immediately, right? None of this is actually changing the sound of your voice. This is all just applying some concepts. So, lastly, the sixth thing that I have written down is to start thinking about something we call phrasing. Phrasing is where we take storytelling to the next level. So we're thinking about how the lines, so like a musical line or a lyrical line, arc, and then we're going to try, as we're doing phrasing, work with our phrasing to like bring out certain words, bring other words back, make certain words shorter, longer, use different like vocal registers on different words or whatnot, how we articulate the words. So basically phrasing is like technically putting emotion into the singing. But the easiest way to begin working on phrasing is to think about where you're placing your breath in a song. So for example, I've been using Angel from Montgomery. I'll do a different one. We'll do the other night, dear, as I lay sleeping, I dreamed I held you in my arms. So I was singing the beginning of You Are My Sunshine. And what I was doing there was thinking about one overall arc of the lyrical line. When the other night, dear, as I lay sleeping, I dreamed I held you in my arms. So when I speak that lyric, I'm trying to think of that phrase as being one piece, and I'm not going to break it up with my breath at all. So place your breath somewhere that it makes sense in the song, right? So the other night, dear, I could take one there, as I lay sleeping, and there, I guess, I dreamt I held you in my arms. So I dreamt I held you in my arms. That's all one phrase, so I wouldn't want to break it up with a breath like, I dreamed I held you in my arms. So think about where exactly you're going to place the breath. And to do that, take the lyrics that you've written down and then speak them out loud like I just did. And then place a breath mark wherever you naturally pause as you're speaking the lyrics. And that's all I have in my notes here for you all. I do want to take some questions for sure. So those are the ways that you can improve your singing voice immediately. Get some good vocal health habits, drink lots of water, lots of sleep, and avoid too much alcohol drinking, screaming, smoking, yelling, whispering, clearing your throat. Choose a song that's suitable for your voice. Change the key of a song if it's too high or too low. Memorize all of the lyrics. Think about the story of the song as you're singing. And as I'm summing up the last one here, if you have any questions, go ahead and type it in to the chat. And sing in front of a mirror. Watch your body, make sure you're relaxed. And think about where you're placing the breath, and that is the beginning of working on what's called phrasing, something called phrasing. Okay, questions. People around me tell you that you sing nasally, and you don't know why. Hello, welcome. And you don't know why because you don't hear it. Do you have any tips at all to fix it? So this is tricky because without hearing someone's voice, I would avoid, like, singing is a very personal thing, right? So first I would ask yourself, like, who is telling you that you're singing in a certain way, and are they telling you do they really have authority to tell you how to change the sound of your voice? So do you need to fix the sound of your voice? There's lots of singers who sing with like a nasal resonance, and they have lots of fans and followers, right? So if you want to explore singing with less nasal sound, just imagine singing into your lower jaw instead of up into your sinuses. So get the sound to come into your lower jaw. Also think about your voice going forward and out instead of up. All right, so think forward and out and not up into your head. So play with it, definitely. Okay, yeah. So if you're singing like country music, the nasal sound and being able to turn that on and off, or just turn it on and leave it on, it's just gonna be there. So say I was singing like, I'm failing at thinking of songs today. Got a feeling called the blues, oh Lord, since my baby said goodbye. Don't know what I'm gonna do. So for me, that's kind of like trying to be a little nasally versus if I weren't. Got a feeling called the blues, oh Lord, since my baby said goodbye. Don't know what I'm gonna do. All I do is sit and sigh, oh Lord. So I'm just thinking of dropping my jaw more, singing down, thinking about singing to my lower teeth there. So that's how I would explore going from nasal to not nasal, but again, without hearing what your voice sounds like. And then also to anyone working on your singing voice, you just got to take what other people say as with a real grain of salt, because sometimes people will say, give tips in a well-meaning way, but they've never like studied the voice. It's kind of like dieting, I guess, like, oh, thanks. Like, your friends can give you health tips, but they're not a nutritionist or a doctor. Like, you don't want to just follow their you don't want to just do exactly what they say because it worked for them, right? So if someone says you're singing nasally, it's like, okay. Don't hurt your voice. As long as you don't feel like you're straining your voice or it's uncomfortable when you sing, if you're in pain, Try not to change the sound of your voice too much. Just sing, maybe just sing songs that are lower. Put the songs in a lower key, and then you'll get to, have to use your lower register, and that naturally is just harder to do nasally. So if you're singing Coulter Wall songs, just put them real low. And then if you really like it, nice, awesome. If you really are worried about it, find a vocal coach. Take 1 or 2 lessons. They might, they'll hear your voice and say okay, don't sing nasally because it's not natural to you or whatnot. But for the most part, don't worry about what other people say about your voice. Think about how you feel when you're singing. But thank you for asking. Okay. Lots of great vocal coaches on the internet. You could probably find people who've worked with Coulter Wall. I would bet that Coulter Wall has taken a couple voice lessons. Okay, any suggestions on building confidence to sing in front of an audience? Well, I think that just doing it is kind of, unfortunately, the way to do that. So go to some open mic nights, sing your songs, and yeah. Confidence, I mean, just remember that whenever you're singing in front of people, that they're there to support you and to experience live music. So nothing to be afraid of there. Afraid of as far as performing. But you just got to start doing it, because performing in it is in itself a practice. And if you never open that door, it's just pushing it, kicking the can further down the road, right? So it's kind of like how I was saying with memorizing songs. If you don't memorize your songs, try to memorize them, you'll not get better at memorizing them. So I think performing is actually a really great way to kind of force yourself to memorize some songs and get out there and sing in front of others. So find a good open mic. That's what I would do. Go to an open mic night. There's tons of them all over the country and all over the world. And you can go watch, and you could watch a couple people go and then see if you want to, or just go watch people do open mic, and that might give you some confidence in your own ability. Everybody's learning, and what's funny is that some people are just more confident to get on stage, and maybe they don't even have the skills that you do, right? So everyone's at a different stage. Go to an open mic night, sign up, put your name in there, shake, feel nervous, get up there, play your song. Stop halfway through the song if you're too nervous. It's fine. Yeah. Unfortunately, confidence comes from experience. So your experience is what is going to make you confident. So you just have to do it. I wish there was a better way. Okay, cool. Thanks for all these questions. I love it. And don't try to sing with a country voice if you're already from the country. Yeah, I agree. I think that I always encourage people to not try to change the sound of your voice as much as possible. So if you want to play around with the sound of your, come at it from a playful way, I'm going to try to sing this song like Beyonce right now, and see if I can shape my voice to sound with that tone or whatever, or operatic or jazz, and play with it, but don't force your voice to sound like that all the time. It's again, almost another fitness thing. Try not to force your body into clothes that don't fit. Don't force your voice to sound different. So you can strain your voice too by trying to do too many accents. but play with it because, you know, see what your voice can do. So at some points you're singing it's good, but sometimes it's worse. What can you do? So sometimes when you're singing it's good and sometimes it's... So maybe, again, without hearing what the sound of what your voice sounds like or what you're working on, it could just be what you're singing, right? So if you're singing one song and it's like one part of the song sounds good and then another part of the song sounds terrible or feels terrible, the song might be in the wrong key for you. So you're probably like trying to fit your voice in somewhere that just won't work. Another thing that happens is people, and one day I can do something on like more technical singing stuff. Today was a little philosophical. However, improving your breath. So a lot of people are holding a lot of tension in their throat, and so they sing kind of like this. So maybe that's where your nasal sound is coming from if your throat is tense. And then your voice gets tired halfway through the song because your breathing muscles are weak as heck and your tension muscles are tight and you're just like squeezing here and then like this is doing nothing. So breath exercises. Breath exercises. So breathing exercises are going to help you a lot. My favorite breathing exercise is called the Farinelli exercise. And there's some really good videos on YouTube of how to do the Farinelli exercise. So it's a lot like some breathing that you do in yoga, where you'll breathe in and then you'll suspend the breath, hold the breath, and then breathe out for a certain number of beats. And then that goes more challenge. The length of time you have to breathe in, hold, breathe out increases. Favorite warm-up exercise? You're welcome. Thank you for the questions. If you have any more, I'm here. Getting ready for a gig. Okay. Well, when I say getting ready for it, I mean I'm getting ready getting ready to go to it. Okay. Ooh, good question. Yes. Okay. So favorite vocal warm-up. That's a tough one because I like the fast, fun ones, but I think I'm gonna have to give this one a shout out because I do it every time I warm up my voice without fail. And it's called a lip trill. And it looks awesome on live right now. It's So this is called a lip trill, and what you do is you have to engage this muscle underneath your lungs called the diaphragm muscle. It's very thin and very weak, but it can become stronger. No, I actually don't know if it's weak, but if you feel like you can't do a lip trill, if you can't hold it, it might be weak. So get a little stronger by doing a lip trill. So you can squeeze your cheeks together. If you're not able to hold it, try squeezing your cheeks together a little bit with your fingers. Point your upper lip down toward your lower lip. So imagine like your lower lip is going to come out a little bit more than your upper lip. And then just try holding single notes there. Hold it as long as you can, and then start adding like a count to it. So say we'll do 4. So 4 on the lip trill. Then move the note up. Then up. and then just try making that longer. So then you'll go for 6, 8, or you can do whatever interval of time you want. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, all the way up to however long you can. You can use a metronome to do this as well. I'm pretty big on metronome work, so that's a good one as well. And then once you're able to do holding one note for a long amount of time, add different notes. So you can do 2 back and forth, or 3, 4, then 5. So start there, but I would start with holding one out as long as you can. That's another thing that I think people could spend more time doing if they want to practice improving their singing voice. Just hold out a tone. So like practice holding a tone. Try to make it as even as possible. Woo. Listen to how that sounds, how it feels. Hold that tone out. And that's going to give you kind of like that endurance. I've been referencing singing is a lot like training your body for a sport. So, you know, that's like the slow work, right? Slow weightlifting. Doing lots of long tones where you have to maintain your breath for an even amount of time. Okay, vocal warm. No, I got off track there. What is my favorite vocal warm-up exercise is definitely lip trills. And another question, it took a long time to sing with a microphone. Most people can't sing that way or are doing it wrong. Do you have any tips? Tom, thanks for the shout out for Strum Masters. I appreciate it. Strum Masters is, thank you. Strum Masters is my guitar class. I'm working on a voice class that'll go along with it or go inside of it. I haven't decided yet, but Strum Masters, thanks Tom, is my class that you can get if you're a guitar player to help you improve your strumming patterns, rhythms, things like that. So thanks for the shout out. And thank you for saying you like my vocals. I appreciate it a lot. I like to sing. I like to sing. Okay. What was last thing here? Oh, microphones. Oops. I'm just reading it to see if I understand. Microphone tips. Learning how to use a microphone. Again, it's another performance skill. Each one of these things that we're talking about could be its own class or lesson, but I'm just here hanging out. I'm going to get a microphone right now so I can show you. And everyone just hope that my microphone is where it's supposed to be in its bag. Thank you all for being here. Oh, I don't like this one, but that's okay. All right, we've got the Shure 8800. I think that this is like a Radio Shack mic. It's okay. I like it has an on-off switch. Oh, I have all my bad ones in here. Okay. Nope, okay. I don't have my... I know where... All right. So I'll just use this to demonstrate. So usually the performance mic that I use is a Shure SM58. It is a dynamic microphone. So first thing that if you're starting to learn how to use a microphone, I recommend educating yourself on the different kinds of microphones so that whenever you come up to an open mic or a band practice or a jam and you see the kind of mic you're using, that you'll know how to use it because they all kind of behave differently. So for example, I have a couple condenser mics, and the condenser mics are more sensitive, so you don't need to sing as loudly into them. You can stand further away, and they will pick you up almost anywhere that you stand. But for the most part, there's a lot of like buts to that. But for the most part, you're going to be using a dynamic microphone like this one. The most common one is the Shure SM58. This has been in storage in my little storage bin, so I just grabbed it. It's going to be attached to a mic clip. And how to use the microphone? Well, first of all, you want to either be holding it or have it secure in a mic clip. If you are holding it, you want to try to avoid like anxiety on it too much, because it's going to pick up the sound, or it's going to, you know, distract you from your performance. So hold it calmly, and we want to have it pointed at an angle toward your mouth. So one of the keys here is, and this is good for mirror practice, is that whenever you're singing, you also want the audience to still be able to see your mouth, because we need to see the movement, like lip reading. We need to see the movement of your mouth in order to pick up what lyrics you're saying. So if you are putting the mic right here and I'm talking and I'm still talking in the exact same way, you'll see that you can't see my lips, right? You can't see my lips, my teeth, my tongue moving as I'm talking. And it's kind of like when during COVID, oh, wait, am I allowed to say that on YouTube? During the thing, we were all wearing masks, and it was like sometimes hard to hear what people were saying because you're missing that element of how their mouth is moving. So same thing with the microphone. Don't cover up your mouth. Don't cover up your mouth with the microphone. So that's like an artistic reason why. The other reason why is that if you get up too close on your mic, you're gonna get this muffled sound like this, right? So you're gonna muffle the sound basically. This is a dynamic microphone, so if it's not pointed directly at your mouth, it will not pick up the sound. So if I had it plugged in and I moved it over here, it would be like quiet. If I have it over here, and then it would be loud again, and then it would be loud again, and then it would be loud again, right? So the mic must always be pointed directly at your face, directly at your mouth. And ye shall never point the microphone down at the ground or back toward the sound system. That's how you create feedback. So if you want to have feedback, point it at another speaker. Your lips and your teeth and your tongue should always be about 2 fingers away from the dynamic microphone. And if you're singing loud, add a little more space. And if you're singing quietly, you can get closer. But again, don't push your face up against the microphone. It's going to muffle the sound. And plus, that's kind of gross because most of the time at venues, you're sharing microphones with like other people and other bands, and everybody's mouth has been on this. Like the Billy Joel, and the microphone smells like a beer. It's disgusting. Okay. Yes, I do agree the SM57 and the 58 are solid. 57 is usually used for instruments. It's got a little bit more, I think, more picks up more on the higher, like the high, on the highs and the mids. And the 58 picks up more on the mids and lows, maybe? Or maybe they say that the 58 and the 57, only thing different is this thing. Yeah. But yeah, if you're performing with a microphone, again, it's just another thing to practice. So get out there. Reverb is okay. Depends on the room. You know, if you're performing in like a brewery or something, it's already, I don't know. Yeah, whatever you like the sound of. That's it. Awesome. Well, geez. I've been here for a while. So if you like the singing lessons, let me know. I want to incorporate more of them into the channel. I've got a couple videos coming out on, we'll be talking about the same thing here, ways to improve your singing voice right away. And we've got a couple more song videos coming out. I think the next one is actually going to be The Wait by the band. So that'll be really fun. Let me know what you want to learn, if you have any questions. And thank you all so much. And I will see you sometime soon.